Stop for just a moment, because what you are about to hear may change the way you understand money, family, age, and silence. Many people think wealthy seniors are quiet about money because they are secretive, cold, or selfish. But the truth is often much deeper than that. After a person has lived long enough, worked long enough, lost enough, trusted enough, and been disappointed enough, they begin to understand that money does not only reveal what someone owns. Money reveals what other people expect from them. It reveals who respects boundaries, who becomes impatient, who listens with love, and who suddenly becomes interested only when numbers enter the conversation. This is why many wealthy seniors do not tell their family everything. Not because they do not love them. Not because they want to create confusion. But because age teaches a painful lesson. Some information brings peace, and some information brings pressure. Some truth should be shared carefully, and some truth should be protected until the right moment, with the right people, in the right way. Most families imagine that money should be openly discussed because family is supposed to be safe. And in a healthy family, honesty can be beautiful. But many older people know that family can also be complicated. Love can exist beside jealousy. Concern can hide control. Help can become entitlement. A simple conversation about savings can turn into silent calculations in another person's mind. A casual mention of property can become a future argument before anything has even happened. A bank account can change the tone of a voice. An inheritance can turn kind relatives into careful observers. This is not bitterness. This is experience speaking slowly. The first thing wealthy seniors rarely tell their family is exactly how much they have. They may allow people to guess. They may say they are comfortable. They may say they have enough. But they often avoid giving a full number because numbers have power. A number can awaken fantasies. It can make adult children imagine solutions to their own problems. It can make distant relatives feel closer than they were yesterday. It can make people stop seeing the person and start seeing the possibility. The moment a number is spoken, it can become a seed planted in many minds. Some people will treat that seed with respect. Others will water it with expectation. After 65, privacy is not the same as deception. A person has the right to protect the details of what they built. They may have spent decades saving quietly, investing carefully, avoiding waste, delaying comfort, and surviving financial storms that nobody else remembers. They may have chosen used cars while others chased status. They may have stayed in the same house while friends moved into larger ones. They may have said no to small pleasures because they were building stability for old age. And now, when that discipline has finally created security, they know that telling everyone the full amount could turn their peace into a negotiation. Wealth is easier to protect when it is not being discussed at every table. The second thing wealthy seniors often keep private is who they have already helped. This is one of the most delicate secrets in a family. Maybe they paid for a grandchild's tuition. Maybe they helped one child through a divorce, another through medical bills, another through a failed business, or another through a quiet emergency nobody else knows about. Maybe they gave money years ago with the promise that it would remain private. From the outside, the family may believe everything is equal. But inside the older person's memory, there is a long invisible record of sacrifices, loans, rescues, gifts, and disappointments. They do not always reveal these things because money given in private was often connected to pain. To expose it later would also expose someone's shame. A wise elder may carry the truth silently because they know that not every fact needs to become public evidence. Yet this silence can become heavy. One family member may complain that someone else is being favored, not knowing how much support they themselves once received. Another may demand fairness without knowing the full history. This is why wealthy seniors sometimes keep records privately while keeping conversations simple publicly. They understand that family memory is not always accurate. People remember what they were denied more clearly than what they were given. The third thing wealthy seniors rarely tell their family is how carefully they watch behavior around money. They notice more than people think. They notice who visits only when they need help. They notice who suddenly becomes affectionate before asking for a loan. They notice who speaks kindly in person but complains behind their back. They notice who respects a no and who begins punishing them with silence. They notice who treats their home with care, who asks about their health before asking about their assets, who listens to their stories without rushing toward financial questions. Age may slow the body, but it often sharpens the pattern recognition of the soul. This quiet observation is not paranoia. It is wisdom. A wealthy senior may smile, pour tea, ask about the children, and say very little. But inside, they are learning who can be trusted with responsibility and who cannot. They may not announce the test, but life itself is always revealing character. A person who cannot respect small boundaries will rarely respect large ones. Someone who pressures for money now may create conflict later. Someone who becomes angry because they did not receive what they expected has shown that their affection was carrying conditions. The wealthy elder understands that money does not corrupt character as much as it uncovers it. It brings hidden attitudes into daylight. The fourth thing they often keep private is their fear that money may destroy the family after they are gone. This fear can be difficult to say out loud. Many older people have seen families split over houses, jewelry, bank accounts, land, businesses, and sentimental items that had more emotional weight than financial value. They have watched siblings stop speaking because one received more, one expected more, one misunderstood a document, or one believed love should have been measured in equal shares. They know that death does not always bring people together. Sometimes it brings buried resentments into the center of the room. A wealthy senior may spend quiet nights thinking about this. What will happen when I am not here to explain? Who will feel hurt? Who will accuse? Who will protect the weakest person? Who will sell too quickly? Who will fight over things that once sat peacefully in my home? These questions can sit heavily on an aging heart. The world often imagines wealthy seniors enjoying complete peace because they have enough money. But enough money does not remove the fear of leaving behind conflict. In some cases, it increases it. The more there is to divide, the more there is to misunderstand. This is why wise elders may speak with lawyers, organize documents, write letters, and make decisions quietly. Not to control everyone from the grave, but to reduce confusion when emotion is high. The fifth thing wealthy seniors rarely tell their family is that they still worry about running out. Younger people may look at a comfortable account and think the older person is safe forever. But the senior sees what they do not see. They see medical costs, inflation, home repairs, long-term care, taxes, insurance, market changes, emergencies, and the terrifying possibility of needing help for many years. They know that a number that looks large from the outside can shrink quickly when life becomes expensive. They know that dignity in old age often requires money to last longer than optimism. This is why a wealthy senior may say no to a request even when they technically have the money. The family may think, why are they being difficult? They have plenty. But the elder may be thinking, what if I live another 15 years? What if I need care? What if my body fails before my savings do? What if giving too much now forces me to depend on the same people who are pressuring me today? This fear is not greed. It is survival speaking with experience. Stoic wisdom teaches that we cannot control every future event, but we can prepare with reason. A senior who protects their money may be protecting their independence, their choices, and their ability to avoid becoming a burden. The sixth thing wealthy seniors rarely tell their family is how much peace matters more to them than appearing generous. Earlier in life, many people want to be seen as kind, helpful, successful, and giving. They may lend money to avoid conflict. They may pay for things to keep everyone happy. They may rescue grown children again and again because saying no feels cruel. But age changes the meaning of generosity. A person begins to ask, does this help truly help, or does it keep someone weak? Does this gift bring relief, or does it create expectation? Am I giving from love, or am I paying for temporary peace? A wealthy senior who has learned this lesson may become more selective. They may give less often but more wisely. They may stop funding irresponsibility. They may refuse to discuss certain assets. They may choose charity, education, health needs, or quiet support instead of emotional rescue. This can confuse people who were used to easy access. They may say, "You changed." But sometimes the truth is simpler. The elder finally became tired of being valued only when the wallet opened. They finally understood that peace is not purchased by satisfying every demand. Peace is protected by making decisions that allow the conscience to rest. Now, if you are listening to this and thinking of your own family, do not misunderstand the message. This is not a call to become suspicious of everyone. It is not a call to hide everything, create fear, or punish relatives for being curious. A wise person does not let fear become their master. But a wise person also does not confuse love with unlimited access. Money is not only paper, numbers, and accounts. It is time converted into security. It is years of labor. It is risk survived. It is comfort delayed. It is the fence around independence in later life. To discuss it carelessly is to invite opinions from people who may not understand what it costs to build. The deeper truth is that many wealthy seniors are not protecting money from family. They are protecting family from what money can awaken. They are protecting relationships from comparison. They are protecting dignity from pressure. They are protecting old age from dependence. They are protecting their final years from becoming a courtroom of emotional demands. Silence, when used wisely, can be an act of love. It can prevent people from counting what is not yet theirs. It can allow conversations to remain human instead of financial. It can help an elder remain a person, not a future inheritance wearing a familiar face. But silence must also be balanced with responsibility. There is a difference between privacy and disorder. A wise senior does not tell everyone everything, but they make sure the right trusted person can find what is needed when the time comes. They organize documents. They update beneficiaries. They keep instructions clear. They choose decision makers carefully. They speak with proper professionals when necessary. They do not leave chaos behind simply because hard conversations were uncomfortable. Privacy should protect peace, not create confusion. The goal is not secrecy for its own sake. The goal is order, dignity, and careful timing. There comes a point in life when you understand that not every person deserves the same information. Some people deserve your warmth but not your bank details. Some deserve your prayers but not your passwords. Some deserve your love but not decision-making power. Some deserve forgiveness but not control over your future. This distinction may feel harsh to those who believe family should automatically mean trust. But trust is not created by blood alone. Trust is created by repeated behavior over time. A relative who respects boundaries has earned more confidence than a relative who uses guilt. A quiet friend who shows up consistently may be safer than a loud family member who only appears during financial conversations. The wealthy senior understands this because they have watched human nature for a long time. They have seen people promise one thing and do another. They have seen gratitude fade quickly. They have seen gifts become expectations. They have seen loans become arguments. They have seen inheritance turn into entitlement before death has even entered the room. They have also seen beautiful examples of love, patience, and humility. They know good people exist. But they no longer gamble their peace on the hope that everyone will behave well when money is involved. This is why their silence can seem mysterious. One child may wonder why their parent never discusses the estate. A nephew may wonder why an aunt says little about investments. A grandchild may wonder why the older person lives modestly despite quiet wealth. But the senior may be carrying a philosophy that only time teaches. Live simply. Speak carefully. Give quietly. Record clearly. Trust slowly. Watch behavior. Protect peace. Do not let money become the loudest voice in the family. Do not let people love your future more than your presence. And perhaps this is the most painful part. Many wealthy seniors secretly wish they could speak openly without consequences. They wish every family conversation about money could be met with maturity. They wish no one would compare, pressure, calculate, or feel entitled. They wish they could say, "This is what I have, this is what I plan, and I trust all of you to remain loving no matter what." But life has taught them that honesty without wisdom can become exposure. Truth needs a proper container. Some ears are ready for it. Some are not. If you are a senior with resources, remember this. You are allowed to protect what you built. You are allowed to say no without explaining every number. You are allowed to help without becoming a permanent rescue plan. You are allowed to love your family deeply while keeping your finances organized and private. You are allowed to seek professional guidance instead of letting emotional pressure make decisions for you. You are allowed to choose peace over approval. You are allowed to disappoint people who were depending on your silence, your guilt, or your fear of conflict. And if you are younger, with an older family member who has money, remember this. Do not make them feel like a vault with a heartbeat. Ask about their memories before their assets. Ask about their comfort before their accounts. Respect their no. Respect their privacy. Do not turn love into financial curiosity. Do not make every visit feel like an interview about property, wills, or future plans. The greatest inheritance you may receive from an elder is not money. It is wisdom, example, blessing, discipline, and the memory of how they carried themselves when life tested them. Here at Stoic Beacon, we believe the quiet truths of age deserve respect. Money in later life is not just wealth. It is protection, choice, history, and responsibility. The seniors who keep certain things private are often not hiding darkness. They are guarding peace. They are refusing to let numbers replace love. They are trying to make sure their final years are not controlled by other people's expectations. They are quietly saying, I have given much, I have lived much, and now I must be careful with what remains. One day, every family will face the truth that money cannot replace character. It cannot create love where there was only greed. It cannot create unity where there was only comparison. It cannot create respect where boundaries were ignored. The way people behave before receiving anything often reveals how they will behave after receiving something. This is why wealthy seniors watch. This is why they pause. This is why they do not rush to open every book of their financial life. They have learned that the right people do not need full access to show love. They show it through patience, consistency, humility, and respect. So if you have built something, protect it with wisdom, not fear. Share what must be shared with the right people. Prepare what must be prepared. Give where your conscience is clear. Say no where your peace is threatened. Keep records, but do not let records replace relationships. Love your family, but do not surrender your dignity to family pressure. Remember that your money is not merely an amount. It is a story of discipline, survival, and time. It deserves careful stewardship. And remember, wealth does not ask you to become hard. It asks you to become awake. Keep your heart generous, but let your judgment stand beside it like a quiet guard. Give when giving strengthens life. Refuse when giving feeds weakness. Speak when speaking brings order. Stay silent when silence protects dignity. In old age, wisdom is not measured by how much you reveal, but by how carefully you protect what peace still depends upon in your life. And if others do not understand your silence, let them misunderstand for now. A peaceful life does not require every person to approve of your boundaries. The older you become, the more you realize that explanation is not always owed. Sometimes clarity is private. Sometimes wisdom speaks softly. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is keep certain doors closed until they can be opened without harm. Thank you for spending this time with Stoic Beacon. May your remaining years be protected by wisdom, your choices guided by calm judgment, your family relationships purified by respect, and your money used not as a source of conflict, but as a quiet servant of peace, dignity, and lasting love.